Hello, welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at ReCappin Podcast.
Also, comment, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We would love to hear your ratings of the movies and shows we review.
Email us your audio file to recappingpodcast@gmail.com and we will play it during the show.
Or DM us on Instagram and we will post and read it on air.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Delora, new week. How goes it?
Hey, Ashley. I am blessed and highly favored. How about yourself?
I'm making it. That's what I got for the moment. I'm making it, but it's all good. We are back, guys. New week. Talk about some things. Not a whole lot was going on in the pop culture world this week. So we'll hit y'all with a 3-4 quick headlines, hop into a hot topic, and then get on out of here for today. So Delora, our first one up is a callback to the 90s. The Brat, beloved rapper, is expecting her first child with her wife. The couple announced literally a day shy of them celebrating their first wedding anniversary. They made the shout out via People, their social media, and on Sherri Shepherd's show that they're having a baby with the help of a donor from their cryo bank. It is just a blessing, the Brat told People. I am excited. She and her wife did not have an easy journey to pregnancy, as I've read about.
Right.
They originally, it was going to be the Brat's wife who was going to be the one to try to carry, but she had some health issues during the egg retrieval process, yes. Jessica. So the Brat ended up being the one to carry. And at 48 years old, she also had some challenges. She had fibroids that had to be removed. She had polyps that had to be removed. So she mentioned in the People article or the Essence article, or one of the articles I have up currently, that they learned a lot about women over the age of 40. So it wasn't smooth, but sounds like their story is great for a lot of folks who struggle in the areas of fertility, and a beautiful thing to see. So what were your thoughts, and did you watch any of the interviews that they did about their journey?
I was completely excited and shocked. I had no idea that the Brat would be willing to carry. I know her wife, I was aware of their struggles. I watched their interview with Tamron Hall. That one was a really insightful interview. But yeah, this is awesome. I think it says a lot too about being women over 40 having babies, you know, and I love to see it. I love to see it. So congratulations to them. Praying for a healthy baby, mommy, delivery.
Absolutely. Protect Black women in healthcare.
Amen.
Yeah, especially given the fact that she mentioned that she had suffered a miscarriage and the way that she felt after that. Definitely hoping full-term, happy, healthy baby and all goes smoothly. So congratulations, guys. All right, let's move on to our second quick headline. Judge Mathis. It was announced that his court show, along with People's Court, was going to be canceled after a collective 50 years on air. This was Warner Brothers essentially deciding to get out of, the court business, as well as the shifts that we've seen in general with daytime television across the board. But in a turn of events for Judge Mathis, he said, I'm not done yet. He will be returning to the bench this fall on Mathis Court, produced by Byron Allen's Allen Media Group. The media group also has court shows such as America's Court with Judge Ross, Justice for All with Judge Christina Perez, Justice with Judge Maybelline, Supreme Justice with Judge Karen, The Verdict with Judge Hatchett, We the People with Judge Lauren Lake, who I've been told I look like by the way. And Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams, which is also
Williams.
premiering in fall 2023. So seems like it's going to be a great fit. And I hadn't realized until I was reading this article via Entertainment Weekly that Judge Mathis is the longest running Black male host on television
Yes, ma'am.
and the second longest presiding arbitrator in courtroom TV history behind Judge Judy.
Yep.
He was going to be just one season shy to tie Judge Judy when they had decided to cancel his production. So now he'll be beating Judge Judy, it sounds like.
Well, she's still working, so.
Well, that's true. I have not gotten a chance to see her new iteration of her show.
I have not either. I haven't either. But Judge Greg Mathis is a courtroom institution. Like, he has been on television most of my life, and he holds an even special place in my heart because he's from freaking Detroit. So I think this is fantastic news, because when I did hear about the cancellation, I was heartbroken. I started following him and his family because of their E! News show, the Mathis family. I forget the name of it, Mathis Family Values or something along those lines, which is super cute and wholesome TV, like a la Run DMC. What was that? Run's House.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So very positive Black family situation. So I was rooting for him after that. So to see him, getting canceled, I was like, no. But happy Black History Month. Black
there
man
you
looking
go.
out for another Black man. Byron is working. Okay, he out here suing. He out here buying Weather Channel.
Yeah, I didn't know until this article either that Byron Allen was also from Detroit. So shout out to your hometown.
I didn't know that either.
Judge Mathis said that he's excited to see Byron build the Motown of court programming. So call back to Detroit roots.
They have that. I'm looking at LA Times. They have that same quote. So I love it.
It's definitely exciting to me because I got an opportunity to see Judge Mathis in the flesh at an NAACP Awards presentation, like local presentation years ago. He was like not the MC, but the main speaker of that NAACP Awards process. And I was there at a table along with some of my colleagues at my former company. And when I tell you he made visibly all the white people in the room uncomfortable.
Oh, I think he enjoyed that.
It was a sight to see. So I feel a special connection
that
with
is
Judge
hilarious.
Mathis.
I can see it too. Wow.
Yeah, he was in his element. But yeah, I mean, I come from broadcast television. I root for broadcast television even now from afar. So I'm glad to see that this is content that will continue to live on. Let's be honest, people still love them some court shows. So I'm sure he will find a great audience over at Byron's company.
Another generation of children who's at home with their grandma.
Don't take they soaps and don't take they judge shows and they talk shows. And, we on the talk show train too.
We love a good talk. Daytime television is everything. And you know what's so funny? I've always loved it. From a kid, I remember watching Today's Show with Katie Couric and Brian Gumbel. I remember Kathy Lee and Regis. I used to think they were married. That's how young I was. I'm like, are they married?
So speaking of that, this just reminded me of something I didn't put as a headline, but given you just brought up Regis and Kathy Lee, what were your thoughts about Ryan's announcement that he's leaving Live with Kelly and Ryan and that Mark Consuelos, Kelly's husband, is taking his place?
I'm glad you brought that up. So with Ryan, I was surprised, but not like shocked, because he's the type, he keeps his checks flowing and diversified. You know what I mean? I think outside of American Idol, this is one of his longest gigs. No, he still has the radio show, but hey, he's gonna be all right. It should be interesting to
Yeah,
see
he's
what
definitely gonna
else
be
he
all right.
get himself into. With them replacing him with her husband, to me, that says the show doesn't have the time or energy to find another co-host, and they know what it is. As long as they are married, the stability is there.
I honestly think after the whole situation with Michael Strahan,
Yes.
that Kelly wouldn't have none of that anymore. I think she had a conversation and said, I only want to co-host with people now that I trust. Ryan, I think, was a favor because they are longtime friends. And he
But
originally
why
had
not
only signed
Andy
on.
Cohen?
I think Andy probably is like, listen, I already have my other empire that I
He's a
have
little
to
messy though. I don't know
deal
how
with.
well he would have been
I
in
mean, Anderson
daytime.
Cooper, I know had guested a lot as well because they're also
Yes.
friends. But Anderson, again, CNN personality, harder news. Like I think they both already had their niches.
Yeah.
Whereas Ryan, not to be honest, too, when Ryan first was announced, I was like, that's such a vanilla, boring pick. I'm not going to enjoy this.
Yes.
But
And
Ryan pleasantly surprised me.
he came in kind of like a Megan McCain. Like they had all these people come in and audition, you find your favorites, and then they bring in somebody who was barely there saying, here's the new co-host, and you're just like, oh, now I'm stuck with you. Great.
I think it was a favor. I think Kelly was like, I want Ryan. And so Ryan was like, okay, I'll do this. I'll move to New York for 3 years and then I have to
I
go.
was
He
gonna
stayed for
say he's in
6.
LA.
Yeah.
He's an
So
LA
that's where
guy.
he's about to go back to. And then Mark, she's like, listen, it's my husband or bust at this point. I have carried this show now for a long time.
And
So it's
they're
me and
a
Mark.
cute couple. I mean, he does most of the heavy lifting for that for me, but I
Really?
I think he's gorgeous.
Well,
Yes.
in that way,
No, I'm
in
saying
that
they're a
way,
good looking
yes.
couple, meaning like, daytime television is primarily women, right? And so I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be fun. That's all I'm trying to say.
I just, when I heard this from Mark, I was like, is this what Mark really wanted to do? Because
Because
he
he
was
wants to be an
still,
actor.
yeah, he was still
Yes.
acting this whole time. I mean, he did a stint on Riverdale for a long time. I mean, I didn't
Yep.
know if this was, maybe he's just at a point, he's like, okay, it's fine that I'll take a break from going on location and I'll just do this next to my wife every day. I mean,
They've worked together before.
they have. They met on the soaps. They were
Yeah.
together a long time on the soaps.
Their
So
children are so beautiful. They're so cute. I love them. So that I,
their kids are
it's gonna be
clones of
interesting.
them. That's
They're
what's crazy.
gorgeous. They're gorgeous children. I love it. I love it. It makes me happy when the kids look just like their parents, you know?
They're clones. But yeah, I'll be curious to see. I'm sure, it'll be interesting because I'm used to, especially the banter that starts the show, having a diversity, whereas now you're having the people in the same household talk about stories. So it won't be a, hey, what'd you do this weekend? Hey, what'd you do this weekend? No, we were together because we're married. So that will be a little bit different. But otherwise, I don't see it making much of a difference in the overall tone of the show. So we'll see what happens, but you just made me think about that with that pivot. So let's move on to our third quick headline, which is Miss Rebel Wilson getting engaged to her Disney princess fiance Ramona Agruma. I hope I pronounced that right. Got engaged at Disneyland in California with a 2.55 carat Tiffany & Co. diamond, which apparently harkens back to their first date back in 2021 when their friend gave them Tiffany heart charms. This is beautiful news. Obviously, Rebel has made multiple announcements over the last couple of years, from having a baby to dating this woman in the first place to now getting engaged. So,
Her
congratulations.
year of health also was a lot in the news
Mm-hmm.
recently too.
Talking about that she was contractually obligated to
I
not
was
lose
surprised by
weight
that.
via those
Yep.
Pitch Perfect films.
Yep.
So yeah, it's an exciting time for her, it seems. She also announced the launch of her app, Fluid, that she's been heavily promoting. So she's got quite a few things going on. Do you think this marriage will be televised?
Oh, I don't know. I think honestly, Rebel can do whatever she wants, and I'll be rooting for her. You know what I mean?
I feel like it
Congratulations.
may be a Disney Plus special at this point.
Congratulations, Rebel. You know, one of the things that I love about her and her family of siblings, they all have like these badass names. So her name is Rebel. She has a sibling named Riot, Anarchy, and Liberty. Like, WTF, what were their parents doing?
They were
Like,
going through some things.
power to the people.
Listen, what were y'all going? And she's Australian, right? What were y'all
Yes,
going through over there in Australia?
exactly. Exactly. So commitment. And so you mentioned the baby. So I was like, oh, what did she name the baby? But the baby has a cute name. Royce Lillian. So yeah.
That is funny. I had not heard that. So thank you for that tidbit to add. But yeah, I'll be curious. Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead and give them a Disney Channel special. We would love to see it. Not Disney. Well, it could be Disney Channel. Disney Channel, Disney Plus, whatever you want to do. All right, let's move on to our last and final quick headline that literally was breaking news on the day that we are recording. And that is that the man convicted of killing rapper Nipsey Hussle, Eric Holder Jr., was found guilty of first-degree murder and has been sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. This is stemming all the way back to 2019, which sounds like a very long time ago, given everything that's happened since, right? I remember where I was when the news dropped that Nipsey Hussle had been shot and killed. And I also remember the controversy about when he was first coming up for trial, that the one guy who was against was a part of the prosecution against OJ originally had picked up this case. Like there was multiple things that had kind of happened legally over time, but as of today, we finally have a decision, and it's 60 years without the possibility of parole as well. That's worth noting because he also was found not guilty of attempted murder against two people who were wounded. So he could have gotten more time, honestly. What were your thoughts?
My thoughts immediately went to Nipsey Hussle's family. I'm hoping that they are okay with this news, that they feel some form of justice. Granted, I find that ever easy to do, knowing that your loved one is no longer here because of the actions of someone so reckless. Immediately went towards his family and loved ones. And so I'm just praying for them right now.
Well said, Delora. I agree. All right, guys, let's move into our hot topic of the day, which is another award show, the BAFTAs. The BAFTAs took place at the Royal Festival Hall in London, England on Sunday. Delora, first thing I saw was something that you sent me, which was Ariana DeBose's opening number, which apparently she worked with a choreographer, she worked with, a team and kind of got this all together. And while it seems that the audience at the actual award show may have enjoyed themselves, social media was very, very critical. So much so that Ariana deactivated her Twitter. What did you think about her opening number as well as the subsequent criticism?
Angela Bassett did the thing.
She had Angela Bassett trending. So there's that.
Viola Davis, my woman king. So, Ashley, when I became aware of this viral moment, it was at the beginning of the rap part.
Yes.
Where they were voguing. And at this point of the performance, Ariana came off as trying to catch her breath in some ways, right? And I know her to be a phenomenal performer. I mean, she's a freaking Broadway star, right? So it was very hard to connect her performance and the reaction within the audience and conclude that it was good.
That it was a success.
That it was like doing what it was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like it was like, was it hitting? It was Danielle's face for me. She didn't, I don't know if her face was because she was called out or was it like a I don't want to be a part of this narrative.
I would hate
And
to be caught in some of these viral moments because I can't control my facial expressions either. It's going to be so raw. I would think maybe for them being actors and actresses, it helps because they are naturally performers in that way. But for me, I'll be like, ooh,
but the
they caught me
actresses that
again.
she was shouting out didn't seem like they were really feeling it. And it was Viola Davis auntie moment that made me feel like, you know how like that one person in the audience is like, okay, baby, we got you.
Yeah, like in the
Keep going.
church, no
Yes.
matter if you can sing or not, you're going to get hyped up if you singing in the choir at church.
So I have had the opportunity to watch it from the very beginning, and the beginning is really good. Um, and that's how I know she had just done a dance number that was, cool and exciting. But that section did not go off well. And what we know about today's social media, we love to clip and focus on certain moments, and that was not a ideal moment for her. Now, why did she deactivate? I feel like in some ways it brings more attention to the situation. I mean, maybe she could have had the opportunity to, I don't know, turn off social media for about a week, 2 weeks or so, let it die down. But she's definitely getting more attention knowing that she deactivated her freaking account.
Yeah, and maybe for her mental health, and if that's the case, do what you got to do, girl. But yeah, you would think maybe have somebody in your team manage it for you for a little bit, or just not go on it for a period of time. I don't know what her work obligations may be like either in terms of social
Yeah,
media engagement, because there's a lot of that these days. But the BAFTAs award producer Nick Bullen believes the Twitter criticism of her opening number was incredibly unfair, quote unquote. And I'm looking at a Variety article.
good for him. You want somebody to stand up for you.
Yeah, and in this article, he went on to say that he feels like the backlash came down to a lot of people not liking change, and that there's a view that the BAFTAs have to be slightly stiff, traditional British, Middle England messaging. He said that American awards have so much more razzmatazz, more showbiz, and so they're not looking to revolutionize, but they're looking to evolutionize and evolve. And he said that they wanted to engage all audiences. They didn't just want to go for the traditional British award ceremony audience. They wanted to send a message to young people, send a message to diverse groups around Britain, that the show is for everyone. And I think what's interesting about that is that the additional backlash that the BAFTAs have received is that all of the awards went to white folks.
Sure
So,
did.
yet
Sure
again,
did.
even though there have been subsequent changes, even though there have been minorities who have been brought in to try to make some changes in terms of voting and all of that, there are
And
so many posts or comments from people that were super disappointed with the results.
yeah, when it comes to the BAFTAs, I really do feel like they lean towards their own countrymen and women. I feel like you could probably say that for the Academy Awards as well, but BAFTA, I feel like I see that trend happening more often than not. So when you listed that this was something we were going to talk about today, I immediately went to the supporting actress category because I was like, Angela Bassett did the thing. And so I needed to know like who won. Did she win? She did not. Um, and I'm not saying Carrie Coden didn't do a great job, but we all know that Angela Bassett has been sweeping the award season this year. So
Even
yeah,
Everything Everywhere All at Once, that's been such an awards darling, was snubbed outside of one award for like best editing.
yeah. So yeah,
I mean, I'm not familiar with the projects that really seem like they got a lot of love, like a German film called All Quiet on the Western Front. I still haven't watched The Banshees of Inisherin, if that's how you pronounce it. So some of these awards and some of these winners of all the award shows are not ones that I'm super familiar with, besides maybe Elvis, really. So I couldn't say about the quality of the performances or my thoughts on the work or anything like that. But I will say, yet again, just a startling reminder that the validation that people of color seek and hope for is oftentimes not there with the biggest award shows that are available, and that then sends a signal to the folks who are talent that you need to find opportunity elsewhere to really be able to gain the level of recognition that you need. Because we talk about these award shows a lot, and it's not that award show are everything, but in Hollywood and in entertainment, it's still cachet, it is still currency to say that you are a winner of this, this, and this.
Yep.
It provides power to be able to get things greenlit, to be able to have bigger budgets, to be able to walk into certain rooms, to be able to network with the upper echelon within your industry. So that's why it's always so disappointing to see these types of articles and stories that come out thereafter, because this is not an award show I watched, paid attention to until the backlash thereafter. So,
yep.
Well, let's talk fashion real quick. How about Vogue? And I'm just looking through some of these outfits and red carpet looks. Did you have any standouts that you saw?
I did. I'm looking at Harper's Bazaar. So here are my faves. Jodie Turner-Smith in Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
She looked phenomenal. Cynthia Erivo in Louis Vuitton. Gugu Batara in Gucci.
Oh, you liked her dress.
I did. Viola Davis in Stella McCarthy. Gwendolyn Christie in Jill Dinkin.
She looked gorgeous.
Love it, love it. It's giving Wednesday.
Wednesday vibes for sure.
For sure. And an honorable mention is Nicola in Valentino. And the reason why I'm calling her out is I just hope Bridgerton is doing what they do with all their stars before each season. All the darlings, they are dressed to the nines and on all the carpets, and you know, that star treatment. I just hope that they give that to her because she deserves it. And again, still interested to see what the season 3 is going to be, but the book actually was quite cute. So
I just wanted to add a couple additional. I think that Hoyen Jung and Louis Vuitton looked gorgeous in this gold off the shoulder number. She looked like a statue. Lily James and Tamara Ralph, this structured middle section. Just
you like that?
It just kind of wowed me a little bit. I was like, oh, I feel like it makes me feel something. I'll say that it makes me feel something. So I enjoyed her look, and it fit her body to perfection. And I feel like I'm missing somebody that I also really, really liked, but maybe you already hit them, that they're not coming to mind. So
another honorable mention would be Florence Pugh in that orange.
It's not my favorite look that she's had. She's had some killer looks.
Yes.
But she looks good. I mean, she's been looking good. Oh, it's Haley Atwell. I liked this. It was like beading, kind of pleated at the top, white with the black skirt. I thought that was really, really cute. So that was my last person. What did you think about Prince William and Kate Middleton showing up? Apparently they haven't been in a while.
Where's Prince Harry? I don't care about these people.
But ain't Harry, what's the point of talking about it, huh?
Until Kate is able to show that she's making a difference instead of just bringing things to attention, her wearing a pretty dress or a dress she's worn before with gloves isn't going to move me.
All right. Well, you heard it from our royal expert on the podcast. So there you go. Delora, that's it on the quick headlines and hot topics for today, girl. What are we recapping for the people for Tuesday?
Our final Black History Month selection, even though it doesn't really matter because we always like to highlight Black art 365.
There you go.
We are going to recap the real life Dora Milaje. The Woman King, available on Netflix, starring the Viola Davis.
There was so much confusion about that. I remember when this movie was out, everybody's like, is this the story of the Dora Milaje? And I was like, no,
This is a
That
story
was
about
fiction.
the Agoji, the real
Yes.
life female elite warriors of the Dahomey Kingdom.
There you go. Well, guys, we will see you then. In the meantime, be blessed.